I'm Allison.
And I'm Melinda.
And we're here today to talk about the video that you're going to see in a couple minutes. It's our final project for the class.
So we both took two separate topics for our papers. I did mine I took two photos from Life magazine of women and decided to compare how the role of women and how they were portrayed in society has changed.
And my topic was on fashion. I looked at fashion shows, one from the 1970s and some runway shows from today, primarily by Karl Lagerfeld. And I'm kind of just looking at how women's fashion has changed through the years.
So we decided to incorporate our two ideas together for this project, and we wanted to use visual examples of women and fashion and the roles that they played in society and how it transitioned.
One of our biggest goals, however, was to incorporate ourselves into this project. We felt as though both you guys would enjoy it more and we would learn a lot more about what we're trying to show you. So, what would you say were a couple of your favorite decades that we looked at?
I think my all-time favorite was the 80s. Got the big hair for it. But I think overall it was the most liberating for me. The bright colors, and you didn't really have any expectations specifically as to what you were supposed to do. You just do whatever and it was accepted. And then the 50s, one of my photos that I chose was from the 50s, and looking for photos for the project, I actually was drawn to all of the photos and art from the 50s, but when I actually got into the outfit, I felt really uncomfortable. And I think it is a direct relationship to the role that was, what was going on in society at the time. And in that society, women were expected to be pretty and play a role that they weren't necessarily comfortable in.
Good point. I think a couple of my favorites, my main favorite was the 40s, something I was not expecting to enjoy. I mean, me, 40s, yeah, no. But I wore this red dress, and it was really long, and it was kind of exciting because I felt pretty and happy, and I didn't have to focus on how short my skirt was or what I was showing anywhere else. It was nice, everything was covered. I was happy. Probably something I wasn't expecting is I didn't enjoy the 1970s. Wasn't my favorite at all. Wasn't flattering. Which I find surprising because I was drawn to fashion shows in the 1970s. I really enjoyed looking at the fashions for my paper. So that was a little bit surprising, but it's just how I feel.
So overall, I think
it's hard to say how we feel in the outfits.
Yeah.
Since we weren't there, we weren't the ones transitioning from decade to decade, 20s to 30s.
Yeah, like for the 20s for example, I got into this outfit, and the 20s was all about them finally being able to show their legs and smoke cigarettes, but I was not comfortable in it at all. I felt really constricted until I had my martini glass in my hand. So, I think that's definitely a good point.
So I guess that about wraps it up. We hope that you have as much fun watching the video
as we had creating it.
It was a great time. So yeah, thanks for your time.
For a second there I thought you disappeared. It rains a lot this time of year, and we both go together if one falls down. I talk out loud like you're still around.